How shocking was it that Donna had been attacked while the rest of her family was sleeping?
To enter a household full of people, it's a very brazen act.
Shock is to put it mildly. We couldn't believe it.
Investigators found a large bloodstain on Donna's carpet.
It was certainly enough to suspect foul play.
You didn't know if there was somebody hiding behind the bushes. It was terrifying.
Is she kidnapped? It's just sheer terror. We didn't know who to trust.
You think you're safe in your own home. You have this young girl, loved by all, who disappeared. It's heart-wrenching.
They conducted extensive searches.
We had divers, helicopters were used. She was gone.
Everybody always held out hope that she was still alive.
Did you fear that you would never know what had happened to Donna?
Yes. There's no getting back to normal. There's no healing. It's devastating, absolutely devastating.
Tonight, we're on the case in East Windsor, New Jersey. The upscale community, about an hour outside of New York City, is considered a great place to raise a family. But when college student Donna Mako was violently taken from her home in the middle of the night, the peaceful suburb was paralyzed with fear. At first, the shocking crime had investigators baffled. Then, as they developed the evidence, a disturbing picture slowly began to emerge until the final piece of the puzzle revealed the face of the monster who was responsible. February 26th, 1984. It was a typical chilly winter evening in New Jersey. But for Betty Mako, it felt anything but normal. She hadn't heard from her daughter Donna all day, and the 19-year-old was late for a family dinner. Donna's younger sister Julie will never forget the moments of building panic that came just after sunset. What do you remember about that night?
6 o'clock rolled around and my mom came up to my room and asked me, why isn't Donna home? Did she say she was going to be going someplace after work? And I said, no, she's supposed to be here for dinner.
At first, Donna's family thought that she might have been held up by her new job.
She worked for an attorney and her lawyer's office was moving to a new location. She volunteered to help move the office.
Julie was confident that her responsible and family-oriented sister would not have been late for Sunday dinner without calling. Julie and her mother went down to the basement apartment where Donna lived to see if there might be a clue about where she was. Instead, they walked into a nightmare.
My mom said, why is it so messy down here? And she picked up a pile of clothes off the floor to put it on the bed, and that's when she saw blood on the floor.
And as they looked around the room, they saw more bloodstains.
My mom just turned completely white and looked over at me and she said, call the police.
When East Windsor police arrived, they were also alarmed.
Investigators found a large bloodstain on Donna's carpet, as well as bloodstaining on the upholstery of Donna's chair.
How concerned were those officers when they discovered the blood?
Finding blood evidence led them to believe that this could be more serious than the typical missing person investigation.
It was certainly enough to cause the police to suspect foul play and go on high alert.
Those concerns grew when police were told that Donna had never arrived at work that day. And testing of evidence found in Donna's bedroom brought more troubling news.
There were some seminal stains that were collected from the bedding and also the rug.
Based on the evidence that was collected at the scene, could it be concluded that there had been a sexual assault?
Yes, there was evidence of sexual activity and various bloodstains.
A disturbing picture was coming into focus. It was clear that Donna had been injured during a violent struggle. Were there any other signs of an attack in the basement?
There was a sweater over the blood evidence that almost looked like it was intentionally placed. There was also some items that might have been moved, including the TV.
Police were stunned. The evidence seemed to point to a brutal home invasion. It was the type of big city crime that simply didn't happen in safe communities like East Windsor. They carefully searched the property for additional clues. Were there any signs around the perimeter of the home that someone had broken in?
It did not appear that there was any signs of break-in.
But it turned out that neither of the doors to the home had been locked.
We didn't really lock the doors back then. We were in a very safe neighborhood, and so it wasn't unusual for the doors to be unlocked.
And detectives quickly realized that an intruder had entered the house. Was anything missing from her home?
Yeah, there was a wallet as well as a calculator that was on a desk to the rear of the home that appeared to be missing.
The desk was just steps from the Mako's back door. And the discovery that those items were missing led Donna's mother to mention another frightening detail.
The back door appeared to have been left open overnight. Donna's mother actually closed the door upon coming downstairs when she woke up that morning.
At the time, Donna's mother assumed that the wind had blown it open. But the totality of the evidence now pointed to a far more troubling conclusion. Police believed that Donna's attacker had entered the home, assaulted Donna, and then taken her with him when he fled.
They were investigating the case as a kidnapping, an assault, or potential homicide.
Donna's family confirmed that clothing she had worn the day before was missing, including a pair of black boots. Investigators were still collecting evidence in the home when they received a disturbing report. The teenager's car had just been located, abandoned in a low-traffic area. Where was Donna's car discovered?
Pulled over on the side of the road in East Windsor Township by the sewage plant.
Investigators tracing the license plate realized that the car was Donna's.
When investigators examined Donna's car, what did they find inside?
The keys were still in the vehicle, and they found her purse.
And that search left police convinced that Donna had been in it after she was attacked.
They found what appeared to be blood evidence on the upholstery of the seats.
What did the amount of blood discovered in Donna's car indicate to investigators?
While that evidence was significant, certainly, I don't believe that conclusions could be drawn whether it was a matter of her having continued to bleed from the injury rendered in the bedroom or whether additional injury was rendered in the car.
Now blood has been discovered inside Donna's home and inside her car. Did investigators think she was still alive?
Yes. It did not appear to be an amount of blood that would indicate a traumatic injury.
And that meant time was of the essence. The evidence was sent to the lab for processing, and an all-hands-on-deck search for Donna was launched.
We were thinking, well, we found her car, we're going to find her. She's around there somewhere.
But investigators were not as certain. They feared that every moment that passed might be the one that cost Donna her life. Police were racing to find Donna Mako, certain that her life was in danger. All the evidence investigators found left her family and friends struggling to understand how something this terrible could have happened. When it sunk in that Donna had been attacked in the basement and abducted, how did you deal with that reality?
Shock is to put it mildly. We couldn't believe it. We never saw this coming.
We found her car, but not her. I mean, is she kidnapped? Nobody knew what to think. It was just sheer terror.
And residents of the upscale town of East Windsor were not used to being afraid. How would you describe the community back then?
Everybody knew everybody. We didn't lock our doors. We just didn't feel the need. There was never any crime.
Donna was an unlikely target for something as unthinkable as a home invasion. She was hardworking, mature, and giving. What was Donna like?
She had such a kind heart. She always just made sure everybody around her was happy. A caring soul.
She was a very genuine person, friendly to everyone. You can talk to her about anything. She was beautiful. Just as beautiful inside as she was outside. Grown-up life. She said it's time to look towards the future, and that's what she was doing.
Donna's life had a clear direction, and she had discussed those plans with her younger sister the night before she went missing. The two had a long conversation that now seemed critical to police. Do you know what time that was about?
Had it been close to 1. We sat down in her bedroom and talked for 2 hours, just about boyfriends, what we want to do for the future. It's what teenage sisters do.
Julie told detectives she had said goodnight to Donna around 2:45 a.m. As she crept up the 2 flights of stairs to her bedroom, she was careful not to wake up her parents. After you went upstairs, did you hear any strange noises in the house?
No, nothing. I didn't hear a sound. None of us did.
But detectives were convinced that's when the attack had begun. How shocking was the possibility that Donna had been attacked in her own home at the same time the rest of her family was sleeping?
Very shocking. It's very unusual.
How would you describe someone who would do that?
To enter a household that was full of people in the middle of the night, it's a very brazen act.
Detectives hoped that a neighborhood canvass would reveal that a perpetrator who was willing to take such huge risks was careless as well. Did any of Donna's neighbors hear or see anything suspicious that night?
No neighbors heard anything unusual that night.
Investigators quickly widened their search for the missing teen. The pressure was on to find her before it was too late.
They conducted extensive searches. They used the New Jersey State Police Aviation Unit to conduct aerial searches. They organized parties to search the area where the car was found.
She wasn't anywhere. She was gone.
Police were frustrated. It seemed like Donna had simply vanished. With no clues about Donna's whereabouts, nor who had taken her, investigators turned their attention to the crime lab's report. Did all of the blood found at the crime scene belong to Donna?
Yes, the blood at the crime scene, meaning Donna's bedroom was attributed to Donna, as was blood found in her car.
Although biological evidence had been recovered, DNA technology was still years away in 1984.
The testing that could be done at that time was obviously more limited.
Then, just when it seemed like the investigation might stall, police were given the name of a potential suspect. Someone in Donna's life who had the means and the motive to commit the diabolical crime. Police investigating Donna Mako's abduction had no leads on a suspect until her loved ones shared their theory.
Our whole family thought it was somebody that she knew because why didn't she yell? Why didn't she bang on something, make noise, wake us up?
Who did you think could have been responsible?
Her ex-boyfriend, Dave. She had gone out with him for a couple of years.
Would you characterize their relationship as having been turbulent?
Very much, yeah. I had seen him go from being happy-go-lucky to angry to sad, back to angry, all in 5 minutes.
We all thought it was her ex-boyfriend. He was just so into her. She broke his heart, and he took it pretty hard.
Donna's friends also revealed that Donna had been supporting her boyfriend financially, even as their relationship fell apart.
Some of this stuff I learned she didn't share with the family at the time, but she was giving him money. She was writing checks to him that we didn't know about.
And just before she disappeared, Donna had brought the money train to a halt.
She was moving forward in her life. She had gotten a good job, and he was still partying and not working, getting in trouble with the cops, and she didn't want that for her life. She wanted to think about her future.
She told him straight up, I'm done with this, I'm leaving you, I can't do this anymore, and it was over.
How would you describe Donna's ex-boyfriend's reaction to their breakup?
Bad.
In fact, friends had to restrain Donna's boyfriend until she could leave. The bottom line was he did not take the breakup well.
Not at all. He was very jealous.
Police knew Donna's ex also had a bad temper. It had led to an assault charge unrelated to his relationship with Donna.
He got arrested and was actually in jail.
Detectives were intrigued when they discovered that the 21-year-old had been released just days before Donna went missing.
He gets out of jail, all of this happens. Obviously, that's your number one thought.
Police believe there were other investigative details that fit with Donna's ex being a suspect. Would he have known the layout of Donna's house?
He would have, yes.
Donna's ex also knew that the Makos left their doors unlocked. In fact, investigators considered the possibility that he had been stalking Donna that night, perhaps even hiding in the basement, waiting to strike.
He could have been down there the whole time we were down there talking. Was he already down there, waiting for me to leave?
And Julie told police that if her sister's ex had been close by, the conversation he had overheard would fill him with rage. How chilling is that for you to think about?
That's one of those things you don't recover from.
I could see him going over there just to talk to her. He would say, come back to me, give me another chance. And it just going bad from there. I could definitely see that happening.
Detectives brought Donna's ex-boyfriend to the station for questioning. He immediately denied any role in the crime.
He said he was sick the night this happened.
but he had no one who could verify his alibi. His roommates never saw him after 10 p.m. and said it was possible he could have snuck out without them knowing.
They weren't able to account for his time during the entire night.
Investigators asked him to take a lie detector test, and he failed. The one-time love of Donna's life was now the prime suspect in her abduction. As investigators continue to look for evidence or a witness who could place Donna's ex at the Makos home, the 21-year-old made a personal appeal to her family.
He came over to our house, and my mother said, if you know of anything, just please tell me. And he cried and he said, I didn't do this. I don't know what happened. I don't know what could have happened. He was so upset. He couldn't even hardly speak.
The emotional exchange had a huge impact on Donna's loved ones.
And I remember my mom telling the police it couldn't have been him. He's just falling apart like all of us are. He wants to find her as we all do.
And there was more than just tears that stalled the case against Donna's ex. Could detectives find any physical evidence that linked him to the attack?
There was no physical evidence that linked him to the attack at all.
And that forced police and loved ones to confront terrifying questions. If her ex-boyfriend wasn't responsible, who was? And how could he have snatched their precious Donna out of her own bed?
To do what he did in the basement, which we know was violent, get out that back door, get in her car, and leave, and nobody heard a thing. It destroyed us. Destroyed us.
Detectives investigating Donna Makos' attack believe that a dangerous predator was loose in their community. A man with no fear of confrontation nor getting caught.
I believe that he entered her home. She was assaulted both physically and sexually in her bedroom. I do not know if she left the home alive or dead.
And until he was brought to justice, no one was safe, not even in their own home. Were you afraid that whoever attacked Donna might strike again?
Yes. Yes, very much so. People started locking doors then. We didn't know who to trust.
It had to be really scary to live that way.
It really was.
It was terrifying. You didn't know if there was somebody, hiding behind the bushes. We were all scared.
Neither justice nor public safety are assured when there is a violent, unsolved crime.
Police recovered valuable evidence from Donna's bedroom and car, but none of it pointed them to a suspect. Law enforcement chased every lead and offered a reward for information leading to an arrest, but those efforts failed to move the case forward. How frustrated were investigators when the case stalled?
There are times when there is no longer strings to pull and the investigation stalls out. You want to get answers for the family. It's extremely frustrating when you cannot get those answers.
How heavily did it weigh on your family not knowing what had happened to Donna?
You're stuck, you're frozen, and the only thing you care about is finding her. There's no healing, there's no getting back to normal.
The Makos' pain was magnified by their uncertainty. Even though it was clear that Donna had been hurt, no one could say how badly. Could you maintain any hope that she was still alive?
We always had that hope.
Everybody always held out hope that she was still alive.
Donna's mother posted flyers all over town and was very direct with the message she sent through the media.
My mom was just begging and pleading, please just let us know where she's at. We don't even want to see you in jail. We don't care. We just want to find her.
Donna's mother and stepfather did everything they could to find the clue that would solve the mystery.
My stepfather hired trackers. We had divers in sewers and water. Helicopters were used. Anything that the police couldn't do, he did.
The family hired psychics and cadaver dogs. They exhausted all of their money.
And as weeks turned into months and then years, they began to accept that their pain was never going to end. Did you begin to fear that you would never know what had happened to Donna?
Yeah. As the time kept going by, you start losing hope.
Sadly, Donna's mother died without learning her daughter's fate. How tormenting has it been to you to know that your mother passed away without any of the answers she deserved?
That's torture, because that's all she wanted to know.
Still, Julie never gave up.
You don't quit, and you let somebody know that this matters, she matters, what my mother went through mattered.
And then, on April 2nd, 1995, a man walking in the woods made a terrifying discovery that would change the course of the investigation and forever alter the lives of Donna Mako's loved ones. What did he report?
An individual going to pick up his son from the Boy Scouts cut through a wooded area and wound up finding black boots. Upon further investigation, there were remains by those boots.
Skeletal remains that appeared to have been hidden for years.
There appeared to be a carpet that was held down by 2 rotting logs over those remains, almost hiding them.
Within minutes, investigators arrived at the scene, just 2 miles from where Donna's abandoned car had been discovered.
50 yards from the road into the woods over there is where he found the remains and the black boots.
When investigators removed the carpet, they made another grim discovery: a human skull. Police already sensed they knew who the victim was.
Given the period of time that had elapsed, obviously there was great decomposition to the body.
How were they ultimately able to confirm that these were the remains of Donna Mako?
Dental records showed that the remains belonged to Donna Mako.
An autopsy was performed that helped provide some insight into Donna's terrifying last moments alive. Could the medical examiner make a determination about what had happened to Donna?
Homicidal violence. There was some type of violent trauma to the victim's head.
Injuries that could have been caused by a bullet or severe blunt force trauma.
The object could not be determined.
Loved ones were asked to identify the clothing found along with Donna's remains, including the black boots and other personal items.
I met with the detectives to give me all of the details, and I saw pictures of her jewelry.
And there was no mistaking in your mind that you were looking at her jewelry?
Correct.
It was the final confirmation that Donna Mako had been found. And that raised a lot of new questions.
You just think, what happened? How did she get there?
I actually lived right over the bridge where they found her, never knowing that it was there. I was reliving all the fear that you had as a teenager.
Did detectives believe it was likely that Donna had been killed the night she was abducted from her home?
There's no way to say for certain.
But there was one heartbreaking truth that could no longer be denied.
Reality set in that, she was gone and she wasn't ever coming back. It was quite tragic.
For investigators, the discovery of Donna's body meant something else. The case was now officially a homicide investigation, and they were more determined than ever to solve it.
We approached it almost as a clean slate to basically take a look at it with an open mind. It was important to me to speak with Donna's family and to let them know we did not forget about Donna.
As detectives restarted an investigation that had been cold for over a decade, Donna Mako's loved ones were still trying to come to terms with the painful possibility that her killer might get away with murder. Where did you find the strength to move forward?
I'm the last family member. My goal was to see this through. If I didn't, nobody else was going to do it.
And that meant that Julie had to let law enforcement know just how committed she was to justice.
You don't quit. This horrible person needs to come to light.
How would you describe your efforts over the years to constantly push law enforcement to focus on Donna's case?
I'm always bugging the police. Detectives retire. I introduce myself to the new ones coming on board, what's happening, what's being done.
That process went on for more than 20 years after Donna's remains were found. Then, investigators from the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office heard Donna's story, and something clicked.
I just was begging them. I said, is there anything that can be done? And they said, well, actually, we're starting a cold case division, and this is going to be one of the first cases that we look at.
How did Donna's case rise to the top of your list to investigate?
You have this young girl loved by all, disappeared for 11 years, and then finally found. The DNA was already collected from the previous detectives, so we knew we had the DNA there to make that next step forward.
But to take that step, investigators had to first go back to the beginning and look for any element of the crime that might help them identify a suspect. As he studied the case file, Detective Taylor Bonner focused on just how brazen this attack had been.
He went into her house while she was in her room, living her life with her family. You think you're safe in your own home. You learn how gruesome it was. Such a young girl to have to go through that. It's heart-wrenching.
And those long-standing details now seem to be a starting point for a new investigation. What did you think you could do that would crack this case?
The way we approach it is, can we relaunch some physical evidence to see if there's a suspect that was previously identified?
Technology has changed so much over the years.
How far has the science of DNA come since then?
Leaps and bounds.
And those modern advances guided forensic scientist Christine Schlenker as she examined the decades-old evidence.
We're able to tell more information about individuals who have left biological evidence.
And the hard work she did analyzing the DNA found in Donna's bedroom led to a suspect. Whose biological evidence was found in Donna's bedroom?
The seminal stain that was found on the rug was linked to Nathaniel Harvey.
Nathaniel Harvey. The name was nowhere in the case file, but it was still familiar to police in East Windsor. Who was Nathaniel Harvey?
Nathaniel Harvey had committed a number of burglaries and sexual assaults during that time frame.
Police found that Harvey had no known connection to Donna Mako, but his crimes had striking similarities to her abduction. What was his MO?
Mr. Harvey would enter unlocked doors and subsequently take property that he found inside. He was also known to sexually assault victims, even if they had family members inside the household.
And Harvey, who was 32 years old the night Donna disappeared, lived just a short distance away from all the critical locations involved in the crime.
The car was abandoned roughly a mile from where Nathaniel Harvey was living.
The location where her body was discovered was in a farm area that Mr. Harvey at one point had employment.
As investigators studied Harvey's other crimes, it helped them formulate a theory of how the attack on Donna had played out. What do you think Nathaniel Harvey did on the night of Donna's murder?
I believe that Mr. Harvey was able to gain access to the home through the unlocked rear door, and subsequently went down in the basement. My belief is, based on the blood evidence found, that there was an injury inflicted to Donna, as well as a sexual assault that took place in the basement.
Do you think he was aware that her family was sleeping in the same house?
I do not know, and I am speculating, but I believe he either did not know or did not care.
It appeared that after the assault, Harvey forced Donna to get dressed and he abducted her at gunpoint. Then, sometime after murdering Donna, he went to work trying to cover up his crime.
I believe that in order to try to evade responsibility, her body was left in the woods.
Investigators were certain that they had compiled a powerful case against Harvey.
I am confident in the evidence.
In fact, the cold case team believed it was now time to share what they had found with Donna's sister Julie, to provide the answers that she had waited for more than 38 painful years.
Learning that it was his DNA in the basement was a complete shock.
But investigators also had a crushing blow to deliver. Nathaniel Harvey had died behind bars in 2020 while serving a life sentence for another brutal crime. What was your reaction when you found out Harvey had died in prison?
Devastating, absolutely devastating.
But once the initial shock and disappointment wore off, Julie was able to focus on something far more important to her. The feeling she had for a team of investigators who never gave up on her or Donna. How much gratitude do you have for all the members of law enforcement who worked on this case over decades and finally ended up solving the case?
I don't know how to put that into words. These stories need to be told. It's like getting a piece of your life back. Now you can move forward. At least I can bury her. This is what my mom would have wanted.
How much did it mean to you to allow Donna's family to finally put her to rest?
It meant a lot. It's the most important part of the job. I cannot give somebody their loved one back, but to even give them a little bit of peace of mind means the world to me.
And Julie believes that feeling of peace she now has is a big part of Donna's legacy.
If anybody's going through anything like this, it can seem hopeless at times, but don't give up. Don't give up. Keep going, keep looking for answers. Try to undo some of the evil that was done.
What kind of woman do you think she would have become if her life hadn't been cut so tragically short?
Her goal was to find a way to not only grow from who she was to become a better person, but to help people around her. A lot was taken away when this happened. The possibilities for her were just endless. She could matter and make a difference. It meant everything to her. We lost somebody really good.
After the investigation was officially closed, Julie held a formal burial for her sister at a gravesite close to their mother's. I'm Paula Zahn. Please join us again next time when we're back on the case.